Okay guys, so we're going to take you through the seated leg curl or seated hamstring curl here. So this is a really great exercise for the muscles at the back of your thigh, your hamstring muscles, okay? So there's a couple of different moving parts here that you want to get right before you start the exercise. The first one is the seat itself. So there's a grey handle at the back of the seat, and that's going to change how far up or how far back the seat actually is. So depending on your height, you're going to need to adjust that. So as a rule of thumb, you want to adjust it to the point where your knee is next to this red axis here. There's a little red circle, red sticker on the machine, so you want your knee to be alongside that, okay? The next thing you want to adjust is the position of the actual padding to start with. So you can change the position of this leg pad to be higher or lower using this A, B, C, D, E adjustment out on the side. So you can move that around depending on your level of flexibility. If you find that it's set to E initially, that means it's going to be up very high and you might be able to actually start the machine that way. So instead, you might want to pull it back down and use that as your starting point instead. It's going to be a bit easier to get the legs in that way. The next thing you then want to adjust is how far away the padding is. So there's this handle here that you pull up, and then that can bring the pad closer or bring the pad further away. So obviously if you're a taller individual, you're going to want the pad to be a little bit further away, whereas if you're smaller, you want it to be closer so that your feet aren't actually sliding off. So the next thing you're going to do from there is you're going to sit back into the seat. Once you've set it appropriately for your height, you're going to place the legs in, one leg at a time, and then we've got this pad here on top of the thighs that acts as a restraint. So you use this handle here on top to adjust it, and you want it to be nice and firm on the thighs. You don't want it to be too uncomfortable, so it's really shoving you down into the seat, but you also don't want to have too much freedom of movement, because then you won't feel as stable throughout the exercise. So then what you're going to do, once you've set your weight appropriately, place the hands onto the handles here. That keeps you steady throughout the exercise and stops the weight from pulling you forward. And then you're going to keep the ankles nice and stiff, so feet pull towards you, and you're going to pull that pad down towards the bottom. Up nice and slowly again, allowing the legs to come close to that stretch position, that straight position, and then back down to the bottom. So keep the weight moving nice and slowly throughout, and really focus on controlling those changes of direction at both the top and the bottom. When you are finished the exercise, let the weight up slowly. Don't let it come up and really pull on your legs. First start by releasing the thigh pad so that comes up, and then remove one leg at a time again. So in summary guys, great exercise for the hamstrings, the muscles at the back of the thigh, and just remember to adjust these different parts of the machine so that it's most comfortable for your body when you're doing the exercise.